A friend once narrated an experience that he had some times ago, which explains how patterns work in our life. He told me that at the time he had to move from the house where he was staying in Lagos to a bigger place for the family. And this particular day, he left the work just as he usually does. He left his work and was driving home. He had traveled for, he had even finished all the journey. It was at the point of getting to the door of the house that he detected that this was the house where he had already parked from during the weekend. And it was so disturbing to him because driving to the new apartment where he already moved, he newly moved to, would take him another 1 to 2 hours. You know how Lagos traffic can be. This tells us how patterns can affect everything that we do in life. And I'm sure that it has happened to all of us, one way or the other. We have experienced it in our lives because our brain has been wired for that. And that pattern recognition, it is what helps us to detect recurring behaviors, decisions, and outcomes that we make. The brain that God has made for us has been built for that. And this is exactly what helps us to survive. It is built for survival. For example, we will recognize that, okay, when the season comes, this is the raining season, this is the dry season from what we see. And we can actually predict the next thing that will happen when we start seeing all those things. And that is how it happens year after year. The same thing also happens in animals. It is this pattern recognition that helps them to move, to migrate from one place to another. We have some birds that we move from North America down to Africa, crossing oceans in order to be able to breed in one part of the world. And when that migration cycle, when it completes, they will move back. And that is how they do it year after year. In humans, today, it is the same thing that controls us. It determines our income, it determines how our relationship will flourish, it determines our career trajectory, it determines how confident we will be. So, it is something that is natural. But the point there is this. In my last video, I told you that I will share real life scenarios or experiences of how patterns work in our life and how we can use it to our own advantage without being disadvantaged by them. There is a formula for it. It is called T.A.R.R. T.A.R.R. Trigger, action, result, repeat. Now, how does that work? The trigger, for example, in a relationship will be possibly your partner criticizes you. And the action that will follow will be something like you become defensive. And after that, being defensive will lead to a result that you do not want. For example, conflict in the marriage. And after that, the cycle repeats. So if that happens like 3, 4, 5 times, it is no more a coincidence. It is a loop. And when such a loop is recognized, it is easy and possible to change it. So in our lives, when we see all those patterns repeating in our lives, then the action is now on our part to be able to change the way we react when there is a trigger or something that causes that to happen. So, in my next video, we'll talk about how we can break those patterns. There are things that can help us to easily break that patterns but it takes discipline. And I'm sure all of us, we want to do what will make our lives to be better. So in my next video, watch out for my next video. I'm Temitope Afowe. See you in the next video.